5 Arab nations helping the U.S. with this military action: Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Bahrain, Qatar, and the United Arab Emirates, all answering the call here. So why these countries, and what do we make of the ones that did not take part? We're joined now by Chief International Correspondent Christiane Amanpour. So you look at these 5 nations that are in this with the U.S. What is, I guess, how significant is this coalition?
It is significant because, as Spider Mark said and the General Francona, it's very, very difficult to get Arab states on board to bomb other Arab/Muslim states. So this is very significant. And particularly these countries have been incredibly involved in trying to get intervention in Syria over the last several years. And a problem, of course, these countries often all back different groups, and some have been backing and, you know, all sorts of nefarious groups, whether it's official by the governments or indeed allowing wealthy people to fund some of these groups. So the vacuum that's been created there over the last 3 years has now threatened the whole region. So a lot of them want to show that they're actually, you know, need to take a stand now.
But noticeably absent is Turkey. Why is Turkey not involved?
Look, Turkey has been taking the brunt of the humanitarian disaster for years. It's got hundreds of thousands of Syrian refugees inside. When I spoke to the Turkish Prime Minister, now President Erdogan, a couple of years ago, he was desperate that the world should intervene in Syria and said that they would join as well. Well, the world didn't. And Turkey is right on the border of Syria and bears a huge brunt of the fallout. And you know that they just had their 49 or 50 of their diplomats, women, children, kidnapped by ISIS, and it took a long time to get them out. For all we know, Turkey told them, you know, we won't be involved in a military campaign. Who knows how they got their people out of ISIS custody. But, you know, they might do other things in this, what's going to be a very long campaign. Britain, France, they've said publicly that we have been asked by the Iraqis to come in and help their forces and to help the fight against ISIS there, but we're not yet at the point where we're going to do that in Syria.
Airstrikes, many have said that that's not enough. There are other steps. At the same time, the U.S. making very clear no U.S. boots on the ground. That's what they're saying. How does the U.S. and its allies here, how do they capitalize on these airstrikes?
Well, enormously, quickly, rapidly and seriously, they have to start really building up the Free Syrian Army and whatever other moderate groups they have identified there, because those are going to be the ground forces. I've spoken to many of these Free Syrian Army leaders, the commanders. Already they're reacting. They have told their people that finally, you know, the world is intervening against ISIS. They may be acting as some of these sort of intel on the ground, some of the bomb damage assessments, some of the, I doubt forward air control, because that's a very specific military task, but they're probably helping in some way that they can. And they, without Western or external support, for years kept ISIS and Assad at bay. They were fighting a 2-front war. But then it got too much because they didn't get any support. Now, if you talk to American generals, commanders, they'll say, if you want boots on the ground, you're going to have to really seriously train, arm, and equip these people who you've identified.